Ain't really doing much, but I love your effort, Hop, and you got the message that, we knew that every yard was going to be critical to stay in third and short and not live in third and long where they had been really excelling. Third and 6+, they were doing really well in that regard, leading, coming into our game. So I think that everybody on offense embraced that, and that we were able to run the football. We were able to take a profit. I think the one, I'm sure Will like to have it back, the one to Traylon, there's two guys on him. It was a good ball, but I think that there was guys, two of them, and probably just try to take the profit there to Chig on some of those play passes. When we say take a shot, just being smart.
Has Will been hitting those long passes that consistently and that accurately in practice for a while?
Well, yeah, I think that's something that he does well. That's a strength of his. He's got good arm strength, and again, to do those, you need protection, and to run a double move in empty, like we did the other day, you need protection, and we got it, and held up in protection. We were able to throw it.
On the sneaks, Mike, is that something that is specific to him and his size, skill set?
I think probably both, Joe. I think both. He had done well. Those are some things that he, had put on tape in Kentucky. He is a strong player. But I think also the look as well is looking at maybe how they were approaching, short yardage, and knowing that that'll be different each and every week. But felt like that was something that we could do yesterday.
A couple of guys yesterday defensively, they said that they weren't surprised by what Levis was able to go out there and do because he had done that in practice a lot. In other situations, like with other teams, that has been the case, and players went to the coach and said, hey, so-and-so is really balling. Did that happen with you and any of the guys?
No, our defensive guys need to focus on stopping the other team's offense. And let the offensive coaches and me handle the offense.
How about within the coaching staff? Was that something that came up?
Defensive coaches?
Yes.
Yeah, no, they need to focus on stopping Pittsburgh and all those good things. No, it's just we're trying to create an atmosphere of a team, and any place where coaches can help, any places where players can help. And I appreciate your question, and I was kind of joking a little bit, but anywhere where we can try to help somebody else on our team, we want to try to do. Whether that's Charles London sitting with our defensive players and saying, hey, this is this player's skill set, or using another example of somebody else saying, hey, I was with this player, I was with this coach, or this technique. I encourage that. We want that to try to help the entire football team wherever we can, whether that's Tom Quinn helping a gunner, even though technically Anthony Levine helps the gunners or is working with the gunners. Like, we don't, it's not like my guy. They're our guys. It's everybody. Like, we're all included in trying to help the player have some confidence, have some trust to go out there and do his job, everybody. So nobody came to me and said, oh, yeah, Will does this. I'm watching practice too, you know what I mean? But we're just trying to create an atmosphere that everybody is helping each other and trying to get us to win.
What's your feeling on fans' rights to boo?
Well, one, we have great fans. One, they, I was a little curious, and coming off the bye, and maybe the uniforms helped and the alumni helped, but, I know when we play hard and we play physical and we look like we know what we're doing, and it's not sloppy. Nobody is going to win every game in this league. You guys have all covered this league. It's a tough league to win in. We know that. But when we've played up to a certain level of standard that looks like it's football, right, and not disjointed and not, just bad football, right, lack of a better term, that our fans are there, they're cheering, they're loud on third down, they've helped us win, they've helped us at goal line stands, they've helped us on and on. So with that being said, if there's things that they don't like they've got a right. Like, we all are disappointed in, when we don't do something well or the decisions that we make. So, I know that they're going to be there. They're going to support us as long as we, are playing the way that we're supposed to play.
We had a lot of players yesterday kind of instructing them on not to boo. What do you think about that?
What I think about that is exactly what I just said. Our job is to play. Our job is to coach. And again, it also is to support our teammates, right? That's also a player's job, is to support their teammates. So I appreciate them supporting their teammate, picking them up off the ground, helping them however they can.
Did you suspect that after that? Did you say anything to Malik after the boost came in, or how do you think he handled that whole situation?
No, the same thing I tell Malik or tell anybody that's not in the game: be ready to go. Be ready to go. And if you're not, you just never know when you're going to get an opportunity. And whether it's Dre Dillard or whether it's Eric Garrar, in any position. Like, as soon as you start thinking about something other than what my potential job could be if I get called on right now, that's taken away from your ability to take advantage of an opportunity.
Do you suspect that maybe the venom wasn't directed at him as much as maybe the decision to change quarterbacks at a point?
All right. Again, if it was directed at me, great, I'll take it. If that's what it was, Jimmy, you can put a poll out and let me know how it goes. I'm more than okay with the plan that we had. I'm disappointed that we snapped the ball high and outside to the quarterback and that we didn't recover it. Still am going to be okay with that plan because I know what's in there, know what we can do. But again, I'm okay either way.
You said last week, there was a time for Kyle after which, his practice showings that wouldn't pay off if his game showings didn't match up. Are you near a point like that with Malik? His situational play has resulted in the ball on the ground quite a bit, or failure to recover it.
Yeah, Malik's, still trying to he's made some plays that have helped us, when he had an opportunity. But no, I'm not. A young quarterback that's never even crossed my mind.
Has Harold looked different to you the last couple of weeks, Landry?
Every week is different, but he certainly had a factored yesterday and affected the quarterback, and unfortunately had the roughing there. But listen, he was rushing hard, and I don't think that was it wasn't something that he hit him low or it was full body weight. He was kind of being blocked and reaching and caught the quarterback in the neck. So there's different penalties that I can kind of break down. I don't think that was one that would be, necessarily avoidable, but wish we wouldn't have gotten the penalty and would have had the sack. It would have been a big play for us, but it was good to see Harold, and again, using the crowd noise that was there when we need him. I think that you force him to go silent, and Harold's really good at that get off. So he was able to get the edge on McGarry. So again, that's some of those things are attributed to our fans and their excitement and their ability to help us. When teams can go silent and we can use the rules to our advantage, with the center head bob, and if it's sudden and abrupt, Harold's smart enough to go because he knows if the ball doesn't come after a sudden head bob that it's supposed to be put on the center. And so if we can get that crowd noise and force teams to go in a silent, then they got to be really good with the silent cadence, just because of when you look around the league and the trends that those centers that snap their head up and the ball doesn't come, there's a defensive guy that jumps, they've been putting them on the center, rightfully so. Everybody's sharing the same video, and that's been the message. So my point is if we can, a smart player like Harold can put all that together, we get the crowd noise, we force them into situations that, hey, have to go silent. Harold knows, okay, that's sudden, the ball's got to be coming. I can get a good jump, and I may get a half a step to affect the quarterback.
You've been able to win here at home at Nissan Stadium, going on the road again to another great environment on Thursday night, Coach. Anything you can take from just these road games and maybe what you haven't done that you can.
Well, it's what we've have done. We've turned the football over. You know, we've done things that have hurt us. It's a road environment, and we're not going to be able to blast sticks, renegade any louder. Like, I promise you. Like, we won't. But we're going to have to just be that much more focused on the huddle, on breaking the huddle, on where to line up. Because when you have a thin margin for error like there is in this league, and like, you know, maybe we're at, you know, right now, that those yards matter. Those yards in the red zone matter. When I would talk about penalties or non-efficient runs, those matter. Every yard when you get down there, especially in the red zone, matters. And they know that in those critical situations, that crowd's going to get louder, and 3rd and 4 turns into 3rd and 9, and then it's, you know, a lot tougher. So, again, that'll be a huge key for us, is to be able to handle the road environment. You know, but I do, you know, that was an important win for us to be able to win and not really be at our best. Be at our best at moments, but not for the entire game, which we have to find a way to get to.
You knew the confusing explanation you got about the D-Hop PI was confusing to us. Is there any way we could try that again, or is it too complicated?
All I asked was, what did you have the OPI on? On the guy traveling or the guy on top of him? And he said the guy that was covering him. He had D-Hop with his hands up, appeared to be driving. So that's what I went with. And, you know, I don't have the time right now to go get an explanation.
After you looked at it?
Probably. But again, I think that's a case of they had been playing that way the entire game. And again, it was just they let him play. And we have to do business as business is being done. And I told our receivers that. I told our defensive guys that if that's how they're going to call it, that's how we have to play it, and trust that they're going to continue to do it that way. I think it was just a bad situation of the guy running, you know, had trailing in the backfield. The guy was on the other side. He kind of caught off guard. He was running late. So again, whatever the officiating is, you know, we there's some things that we know, and there's some things that just happen. I would say that one's one that just happened. You know, holding a guy on a punt return, blocking a gunner, you know, 4 yards out of bounds, 25 yards downfield, like that's a dumb penalty. There's other penalties where, like, okay, they happen. It's in the course of a game. Like, you tug a guy, illegal contact, whatever it may be. But there's some things that we got to stop making excuses for and coming over to the sideline and saying, well, I stopped. We're not coaching that stuff anymore. Like, we're going to coach the stuff that is new, not the stuff that we've been talking about for 6 years.
Going Gibson over Weaver and Murphy, maybe a reward for what he's doing in practices, or maybe a sign that others need to.
You know, we only got so many guys to get active, and, you know, try to have around 9 edge guys up there. Add some new safeties, some special teams play a part in that. You know, Travis had been factoring in the opportunities that he had, and tried to give him another opportunity. That could change this week. You know, Weave's, you know, plays hard, and Weave's tried to be involved in special teams as well, which he hadn't been. So I give Weave credit for that, for finding, you know, some role. And every week is different. And again, we can't have everybody active, but Thursday night, you know, could be different. We'll see.
Is there a chance to get Josh Wiley back this week? Just
There is.
shorter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Would
there
it be
is.
a practice, just one practice, or two?
It's Cheddar Bob, Kayla. It's Cheddar Bob. But yeah, no. You know, he was starting to do some good things. A versatile piece on offense, and also, you know, special teams. Something that he hadn't really done much. But, you know, one game he played like 2 or 3 different positions on the punt team. You know, Raider showed up again. So these tight ends that, you know, maybe you don't think that they're going to factor, that's really cool to see. You know, Kevin did that last year when he came up for us, and there he is down there making a really nice tackle on the punt team. And so yeah, hopefully we'll get Josh back.
Was it a little bit of a lighthearted moment with Tier at some point there early in the game on the sideline. Looked like he gave you kind of a good pop there after he came off and you guys.
That's a love tap. I mean, if you can't hit me harder than that, how are you going to hit the offensive lineman? No, I just, I just try to coach a team, man. I try to make a connection with these guys. I try to be honest with them. I try to tell them the truth. I try not to waste their time. And so we need Tier, and Tier also has an individual situation. And there's no secret that Tier's contract's up after this year, and have told him that for you and your family, like both things can happen. Like you can play well and you can help the team, and you can play well and help your family. Like that's what professional sports is, and I understand it. Go ahead, Corey.
Thank you. After the performance of
Kayla just barking everything out in front of you.
Just, she's not with us anymore. She's just stomping all over me.
I still do stuff for free. What are you talking about?
Good.
After Will's performance yesterday, though, do you expect to field calls about Ryan headed into the trade deadline?
I don't know. I mean, we haven't as of yet, but I have no idea. I'll go downstairs, and when Rand tells me that somebody called, then we'll talk about whoever player they called about and what they would offer and make a decision, just like we do. Does it change the situation that we would listen or that we would?
Listen more diligently.
I mean, we would. I think we owe it to the team to listen as diligently as possible on anybody that would call, regardless of player, person, or position, just to make sure that we're doing right by the football team. Thank you.
John,